Hey, let's do a walk around of this 2014 Volkswagen Jetta TDI. There are a lot of diesel-powered cars on the market right now, which is really good. Unfortunately, most of them are high-end cars like the Mercedes E-Class, BMW 3 and 5, and so on. In fact, there are only two reasonably priced cars that you can buy that have diesel engines. There's this car, the Volkswagen Jetta TDI, and then there's the Chevy Cruze with its diesel engine. However, the Cruze is significantly more expensive by about $3,700 than this car. Also, and this is really, I think, a neat thing, the Jetta is available as a sedan, which of course this particular car is, and a wagon, whereas the Cruze is only sold as a sedan. And the proverbial cherry on top, you can get a manual transmission with the diesel engine in this Jetta, whereas the Cruze is automatic only. Some other superlatives I'd like to point out. This car is roughly the same size as the Cruze. It's slightly bigger, not by much, by about 2 inches. But the back seat is massively more roomy. I'm illiterate this morning. Must be the effects of Clovers. At any rate, you've got almost 3 inches more back seat legroom, and I'm going to sit in the car here to demonstrate. Now, I'm 6 feet 3 inches tall, and here you can see that even a big tall geek like me who's 6 feet 3, my knees have that much gap between the front seat backs. And the seat back, by the way, is positioned right now for me, 6 feet 3, sitting in the front, so it's not jammed forward to give you a false impression of how much room there is back there. Another nice little thing I'd like to show you, I'm going to show you a variety of things, but here's a little feature that I kind of stumbled on that I was very impressed by. The back seat, second row, also has its own little dome light, which is controlled separately back here, and it's got this nice little rotary knob individually, so you can turn it that way, you can turn it that way for this side or that side. In a lot of cars, you've got a dome light that's controlled only by the driver. So that's nice. Oh, there's the doors again too. And hopefully you'll be able to see this. The paint quality on this car is absolutely exceptional, even in the door jambs. If you look at the door jambs, hopefully it'll come out in the video, and also underneath the trunk, which by the way is substantially bigger than you get in the Chevy Cruze. Let me pop it open for you here. It's about 2 cubic feet bigger. If it'll pop for me. Well, it doesn't seem to want to. There it goes. So there's your trunk, and as you'll notice, the underside of the trunk is beautifully finished, clear-coated. As a cost-cutting measure, especially on reasonably modestly priced cars, which this is only about $21,295 to start, you'll find that they cheap out on things like that they won't use the clear coat on the undersides of the trunk or the door jambs or under the hood. Volkswagen does. I mean, this is not a very flashy car, but it's a very stately and good-looking and solid car. It's the kind of car that will look good 10 years from now. It's not uber trendy or flashy, but it's just a very tastefully done, nice car. Very German. If you look at the inside too, you'll see the same kind of feel. You've got nice pewter or brush nickel or whatever they call that trim plates, along with some piano black. And you've got a nice straightforward gauge cluster here with a tachometer. And incidentally, check out that the tach redlines at 5,000 RPMs, which for a diesel is pretty high. This engine also produces a lot of torque, 236 foot-pounds at about 1,700 RPM, which gives it a lot of get up and go without having to give it a lot of gas pedal. I like these rotary knobs. They're very simple, they're very usable, very user-friendly. Got nice big scallops over there in the door panel. The only thing that I can really find to complain about this car is something completely trivial, I think. Here's your center console storage cubby, and you can see how small it is. I've got my iPod in there, and that's pretty much all it fits. It'll fit an iPod, pack of cigarettes, or maybe your wallet. That's about it. But really, that's among the few small little bitches that I can come up with to tell you about this car. The fact that it's $3,700 less expensive than the Cruze, gets virtually the same gas mileage. Actually, it gets better mileage in the city. The Cruze is slightly better on the highway, but overall they get virtually the same gas mileage. Performance is very good. In fact, it's quicker than the Cruze. The version that I have here with the direct shift gearbox, which is an automated manual, gets to 60 in about 8.4 seconds, which is a little bit quicker than the automatic-only Cruze. And that's not surprising because the Cruze is a heavier car by a couple hundred pounds. The stick-shift version is slightly quicker than the DSG version, and I think it's a little bit more fun to drive also. One final note, a lot of people compare the diesel to hybrids like the Prius, and some of the same criticisms that I've leveled against the Chevy Cruze relative to this car also apply, I think, to hybrids like the Prius, which starts at about $24,200, I think. So again, it's several $1,000s more expensive, so you have to factor that into your purchasing decision. And unlike the Prius, this diesel ought to go for 300,000 miles with any kind of decent treatment. Not that the Prius isn't a reliable and durable car, it is, but its battery pack is eventually going to degrade in terms of its ability to hold a charge, and you'll probably end up having to spend some money on that if you try and keep the thing for a couple 100,000 miles. Anyway, the rest is up at epautos.com, and we also have some fresh videos of bad driving at clovercam.com and also on the main page. Again, epautos.com. Hope you'll stop by and leave your comments, pro or con, and we'll catch up with you next time.